Hey, my Oak Island fishing friends, how are we doing out there? It's March 16th. Not too good. Coronavirus, things are getting shut down. Didn't have school today, at least the kids did, and I had a work day. A lot of anxiety, a lot of toilet paper missing. And I'm just like, I gotta do something to take my mind off it. So I came out here, thought I'd drop a line, see if we can catch some puffer. Come on, let's go. So let's talk water temperature. It's not even 60 degrees, so there's not a lot still biting. Even though the air temperature is hitting the 70s every day, just the bottom of the 70s. I'm out here using some frozen shrimp, some bloodworms, and some sand fleas, but the only thing I'm catching stuff on is shrimp. And I thought I was doing really well when I was reeling this guy in. I thought I had maybe a decent fish, but it turned out to just be a giant stingray. Well, not giant, just a normal sized stingray. So I cut him off and grabbed him by his little barb. Sorry, buddy, but I ain't getting stung, using my rusty pliers here, and dragged him back into the ocean and let him go. I guess I could have kept him for shark bait, or I could have kept him to made. Some people say it tastes like scallops, but I'm not a big fan of eating stingray, so I just let him go. If I want to eat, I'm going to go to a restaurant. This is actually what we did. We went over to the Pirates Deck. If you've never been there, here, check it out.
Here we are, we're going to the Pirates Deck on Oak Island. It's across the street from the Food Lion and the Tranquil Harbor, which we previously featured on Fans in the Surf.
A little muddy going in.
But it's not usually. It's only because it's rain. We seat ourselves, even though the sign says please wait to be seated.
A nice fireplace.
But we want to seat by the fire because it makes it nice and warm and cozy. Well, there's a lot of things on here. I'm not really sure what I want. Usually I get the oyster burger.
Alright, Sculpin.
Oh.
And then I have your water here for you. I'm April, I'll be your server. Okay. And he's grabbing the Blue Moon for me.
Okay. Onion rings.
Okay, sounds great. And then for you here, honey?
Okay, I think we're gonna split
The special.
the special.
And what's your one topping you want on your pizza? You can add more. It's $1 per topping, but you get one for free.
How about jalapeno?
Okay. Yep, and then I got grab some cheese, pepper flakes.
Thank you.
Yeah, plate. I brought you a plate as well there, man.
I'm excited about the pool room. It definitely looks very appetizing. The waitress recommended it. So we're gonna dive into this. This one's the pool room.
What is it called?
Pool room. Like that
Like pool, yeah. Right. It's not swimming pool.
Not swimming pool.
Yeah.
Although that is also a pool.
And what's that one?
This is the 4 pepper hot one. It has 4 peppers in it. But if
4.
you put some of this on it,
That's
now it has
5. 5 pepper. Oh, wow. So did you put some on? I
did.
Okay.
This little
It's
sprinkle.
like one little flake, though. That still
Yeah.
counts as the 5th pepper.
Yes.
Okay. And then
Pool
this?
room.
I'm trying the pool room.
Yep.
It's steamy.
Yeah. It tastes like pool? Tastes like chlorine?
It tastes almost like if you combined buffalo sauce with an Italian spice. So kind of like a buffalo style pizza is how I'm doing it. It's not too spicy. I have a feeling the 4 pepper is going to be hot. 4 pepper hot.
4
right
pepper.
now.
5 pepper.
5. This one, yes, there is a 5th pepper on it. So I'm gonna try that and see and compare the spice for
Go ahead.
This one is definitely, it's got a sweeter taste, and there's definitely more spice. I can tell it's going to be one of those things where if you eat more than one, it starts to really
It
add
starts
up.
to build. I think I noticed that. You let it sit in your mouth a minute, it's going to start to build.
Yes.
It's actually kind of impressive. It's probably one of the hotter wings I've had on the island.
Wow. This is the pizza.
It's supposed to be really good.
It's supposed to be really good. Everybody said good things about it.
Just having trouble kind of
I'm
getting it.
having trouble pulling it apart in one piece. This is a 3-course meal so far. It looks hot. It's definitely a good pizza. It's got a unique flavor to it. I don't really know what that is. Maybe it's a cheese.
So cheese pizza, that is unique.
Maybe I just haven't had cheese pizza in a while.
So a little left over.
We got a little left over, or a lot.
Yeah, I don't feel like you ate all that pizza.
We didn't eat all the pizza. Not because it wasn't good, but because the wings were just so good. And pizza is easier to take home.
And so then we're at...
Come through the doors.
Yeah.
Now we'll go back to the truck and we'll put this in while Kimberly's inside the food line
Chef
right
Kim.
across the street. Very convenient over here in Oak
Conveniently
Island. Everything's
located.
about efficiency.
All right, so back to the surf. With the shrimp on a double drop rig, I had a tourist rig on one. I had a rig that I made myself. The fish didn't seem to mind. I had, I think, a 1/0 hook. Might have been number one hooks on one and 1/0 hook on the other. They're pretty similar. The 1/0 hook's a little bigger, but the puffer have a big enough mouth, and they got some teeth in there, and so they just bite it and they chew on it. So I got a couple puffer going, keeping them in the bucket. I will tell you, catching a puffer is kind of a weird thing. Like it taps, and like if you're not paying attention to the line, you're not going to know the puffer's on there. So you got to really pay attention to the line, and then when you feel the tap, just start reeling it in. And first it's going to feel like you don't have anything, and then all of a sudden it's going to feel like you're dragging in a football, and that's because they start to puff up, as this guy did when I dropped him. Sorry, buddy. But so they puff up like that, and then all of a sudden it just feels like you're dragging in a bunch of seaweed or something. But a lot of times when that happens, it's a puffer. Now, some people are like, aren't they poisonous? I thought the puffer, no, only the Pacific puffer is poisonous, but the North Atlantic puffer, which is what we're catching here, are not poisonous. Actually, they're delicious. And I'm going to show you in a minute how to clean them so you can cook them yourselves, because you might be like, why are you catching this? Now, this one has never happened to me before. I actually snagged him on this side, and I kind of felt bad. Like, it wasn't even hooked in the mouth. I actually, for some reason, when I went to pull him in, he must have let the hook go and turned around, but I got him right in the side with it, and he puffed up. And so I was like, all right, well, he didn't want to unpuff. So I'm like, you're going in the bucket. It's a pretty good sized puffer, by the way. Delicious. Making some fish tacos out of them, but weird looking as all heck. Okay, so here's how you clean them. And I will say this is not my technique. I got this from OD5. Watch his videos on YouTube, OD5, and he will do this technique, and he does a much better job than me. Basically, what I do is I take a knife, and I probably should even have a serrated knife, not a fillet knife, because you need to cut through the backbone. So really what I'm doing is cutting right behind the head and just cutting through the backbone. Once you get through the backbone, you can just pull the skin back just a little bit like that. Take your fork, stick it in there, and push it up, and it's going to flop out. Oh, keep the fork in there. There you go. And just give it a pull, and it's going to come out one mighty piece like a giant shrimp. And then you can just stick it in. I'm going to stick it in this Ziploc bag right here, and go on to the next one. And it's really as simple as that. Again, check it out. You just take the fish. Again, you just cut it in the back. It's hard to get through the skin, so you need a sharp knife, and it's hard to get through that backbone. So I'm going to twist it a little bit just to crack that backbone right there. You can see me twisting it. Once I got that, I just pull the skin back, stick the fork in, watch the guts, push them to the side. But once you don't even have to gut it, you don't have to fillet it, you don't have to do anything. You just pop in and out, and it comes out in one nice piece of meat. Now that's ready to go. Wash it off, bread it, fry it up in a pan, and you're going to love it. And take the heads, throw them in your crab trap, and you're ready to go.